We're playing our song this morning. In depth today, huge event. Huge in the world of gaming.
That's right. The Nintendo Switch 2 launches tomorrow, one of the biggest video game releases in years. Some fans going all out to improve their chances of landing one of the highly coveted gaming systems.
NBC's business correspondent, Brian Chung, he has joined the frenzy right outside the Nintendo store, right at the end of our plaza, we should point out. Brian, you got some friends there.
I do. I'm just a block away, guys. Not far. Nintendo, by the way, they don't have pre-order numbers that they can share, but the original Nintendo Switch, which was released 8 years ago, sold more than 150 million units, and the Switch 2, with a bigger display, it's got better graphics than the OG. It has fans so excited that some have camped outside for months to get their hands on it. Gamers are ready to switch things up.
This is the most hype I've been for a console since the PS5.
With tomorrow's highly anticipated release of Nintendo's newest game console, lines we haven't seen since iPhone rollouts or even Black Friday sales, now anticipated for the Switch 2. Some shoppers making a game-time decision to jump in line early.
And you are the first in line. Yes, I am.
We met Christopher Evangelista outside of the Nintendo store here in Manhattan, who has been holding his spot with a team of people in rotation.
I slept in here a few nights.
Just like upright, you just kind of pass it?
I just pass out on my chair.
What about when it's raining?
We got the weather pod.
He staked his tent a while ago.
Number 2. 2 months.
Why not?
The games of Super Nintendo.
The new gaming system playing up the Nintendo nostalgia, bringing back actor Paul Rudd to his gaming roots as he recreated his 1991 commercial for the company.
It means something good.
To get your hands on a Switch, get ready to pay 2025 prices. Despite some concerns over tariffs, the company ultimately decided to keep the unit's cost as originally listed, just under $450. Although some gaming accessories saw an increase of $5 to $10. But on eBay, some pre-order confirmations for the console going for more than double the price. To help meet the sky-high demand, Best Buy announcing they'll be opening nearly all stores at midnight.
70% of customers indicated that they wanted to pick it up in store, and the vast majority of those customers will probably be there at midnight to do so.
So, okay, wow, that's a pretty big number. Are you kind of surprised by that?
Something about consumer electronics in general, and that instant gratification is really important.
Back at the Nintendo store, only confirmed reservations will get their consoles at midnight. Raise your hand if you are guaranteed a Nintendo Switch 2. All right, raise your hand if you're not. But those who still opted to camp out say it's all about the hang.
Really, it's just all about the community and sort of sharing that love of Nintendo with each other.
And by the way, if you were one of the lucky ones to get a pre-order confirmation for the Switch 2, Best Buy says they will have a select number of units available at stores for walk-ins, and they will get inventory periodically thereafter. They're actually advising that, for those that are trying to score one for the holidays, to sign up for restock alerts here as I walk back a little bit closer to 1 a.m. because, again, we're only just 1 block away from here. Again, as we get over to the plaza, a lot of people are wondering how they can score one of these. I got a little bit lucky, again, because our neighbors are just right over there. We've got the Switch 2 right on hand here, but here's the thing. You know why I'm hiding behind here?
Come in.
I'm hiding behind here because you guys tried to steal those Labubus the other day. Okay? So I need this glass to protect me. So
And
I'll just
do it again, too.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do my little say anything. I'm gonna do my little say anything John Cusack. Nope, this is real. Yeah, and it's mine. It's mine.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, is that a Lafufu? Is that a real one?
This is legit. This is
Oh, Brian, well done,
Come on,
sir.
Bri.
Sorry.
That hurts.
Hey, did I leave my badge in there, by the way?
Well, you're not getting
You're not
back.
getting back in.
Actually, I have to get. I have to get back in.
Yeah, I got to trade.
You had a good run here at the Today Show.
Dad, do
It was a pleasure working with you.
Go back, get 3, and we'll let you back
Hilarious.
in. Love that.
By the way, he walked over here because had he held that switch up outside with that crowd,
Oh, yeah.
crowd would have turned.
I know. That's like, yeah, the little boo-boo went fast. Imagine that thing. Okay, Al, what's up, boo-boo?
By the way, kudos to Jason running the Steadicam. Had to walk that whole thing out there.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Backwards.
Backwards, exactly. All right, let's show, boom, a little fist bump there.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the new Nintendo Switch 2. It's officially on sale.
Oh, what a good game it's going to be, and gamers are excited, starting to purchase the new Switch at midnight after lining up all day yesterday outside the Nintendo store, Rockefeller Center. Hello, Mario Kart. Lucky players got a chance to test out the gaming system while they waited in line.
Been out here every single day, morning to close, and we have people take shifts, morning to night. Some people do the night shift, some people do the morning.
I'm just really excited to try out like the knockout tour, just all the new modes, and play as all the new crazy characters we got for the game.
All right, pre-orders for the gaming console sold out almost instantly a couple weeks ago, crashing the sites of major retailers. Looks like a lot of fun.
The wait is finally over. Gamers around the world are celebrating the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. Pre-orders sold out in minutes back in April. So some Nintendo fanatics who couldn't get them online waited for weeks outside stores, just posting up outside of the stores, trying to get their hands on one of these consoles.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Chicken Dog. It's day 60, waiting for the Nintendo Switch 2.
Never felt more unemployed in my life, but you know, it's good timing, I guess.
Some interesting characters out there. That's right. Switch 2 has many similarities to the original, but offers a larger screen, upgraded buttons, and improved graphics, which will come in handy for new titles like Mario Kart World. It's on sale for $450 and is a test of Nintendo's supply chain amid, of course, President Trump's ongoing trade war. Some dedicated gamers out there for sure. All right, it is 6:27, still ahead.
Well, Nintendo fans lined up at midnight last night to get their hands on the Switch 2, the brand new console, the first new gaming console from Nintendo, in fact, nearly a decade. But some customers at GameStop on Staten Island, they got more than they bargained for. Katie Corrado has the story.
A really unfortunate mistake at this GameStop location. The dozens of people who were lined up here at midnight to get their new Nintendo Switches had to come back today and get them replaced because theirs were damaged.
I opened it and I saw the little marks on it.
Joe Poslano got his hands on the brand new Nintendo Switch at midnight. But there was just one little problem, or technically two.
Two nice little cracks right in the screen.
Puncture holes damaging his brand new screen after a GameStop employee stapled the receipt directly to the box.
I was like, oh, it's the staple. The staple lines up perfectly with where the holes are. I was just kind of like annoyed only because I know how hard it is to get one, and the fact that I even got one and then that happened was kind of like a real pain.
They are in fact tough to come by. Across the country, people lined up for the midnight release, with some big box stores changing their hours to accommodate the demand. Nintendo says it expects to sell 15 million units in the first year. But several dozen of those units, at least on Staten Island, are heading straight back to the manufacturer.
I had texted my friend and I was like, hey, does yours have this too? He's like, yeah, mine has that too.
Customers who returned to the store Thursday morning were told they'd have replacement devices by the afternoon.
The store owner, she's actually a really nice woman. She came out with a clipboard and she was taking names and numbers. They're calling another store to bring some in, so we'll see what happens.
And sure enough, the store made good on its promise.
They gave me a brand new one and they gave me like a collection item, cool, which is a nice little add-on, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, it was nice.
The problem needs to be isolated to this location. It appears that other stores use stickers to attach the receipts to the boxes or staple the receipts to the bags. Reporting on Staten Island, I'm Katie Corrado, PIX 11 News.
Nintendo launching its Switch 2 console after years of anticipation by gamers. Steve Kovac is live outside New York's Nintendo Square, and he joins us now with more. I saw the hats they were wearing. Is that a Mario Brothers thing or something?
Yes, there are a lot of people who were dressed up last night, Becky, in costumes and so forth. There's a big launch party at the Nintendo flagship store right by our offices in 30 Rock, actually, last night. Some celebrities, we saw Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live. He was here picking up his Switch 2. You see a few people in line behind me. They have reservations to come in when the store opens and pick up their consoles. I happen to have one right here. This is it. It's a Nintendo Switch 2. It costs $450, and it's kind of interesting because there is a tariff angle here, believe it or not. This was announced on April 2nd on a Liberation Day, and Nintendo got kind of caught on their back foot with these tariffs. They ended up keeping the console the same price at $450, but did need to raise prices on some accessories and other things to kind of make up the cost. This is produced in Vietnam, by the way, which has a lower tariff rate, of course, than China. We actually caught up with Nintendo's president, Doug Bowser, last night to talk a little bit more about tariffs and what they see moving forward about pricing. Take a listen.
It's an incredibly fluid and challenging situation for not only ourselves, but for a lot of companies. So we're continuing to really monitor the market and monitor where tariffs are going before we make any further decisions on pricing. The price that you see right now is the price that you can be expecting in the future. Of course, tariffs could change that in the future, but right now, $449 for the base SKU and $499 for the bundle with Mario Kart World is the price that we'll be maintaining.
So, Becky, like so many executives we talked to, they have to be pretty dynamic and loose on pricing with the tariff uncertainty out there. But for now, holding still. By the way, Nintendo says they expect to sell 15 million Switch units this year. That would be roughly in line with the first version of Switch in its first year as well. And by the way, Nintendo is not just a video game company anymore. We know, of course, the partnership with our parent company, NBC Universal. They have those theme park attractions in Orlando this year, out there in Hollywood, and also in Japan, and also some movies coming out. There's that new Super Mario Brothers movie, a sequel to the original one, and a Zelda movie coming out in a couple years. So we're really seeing Nintendo move beyond its core of gaming, but today it's all about this new system here, and we're expecting to see a lot of people come through and pick up their new devices, Becky.
Hey, Steve, these lines outside waiting for a new product, that's almost an anachronism. Every once in a while you see that with like a new iPhone or something that's coming out, but it is really tough to get people who are willing to stand outside in long lines overnight and dress up in characters.
Not just overnight, Becky. We talked to someone here. They wanted the honor of being the first in line. They got here 2 months ago, so they could be the very first in line. Yeah, exactly. They've been camping out in Midtown Manhattan.
How do you do that 2 months ago? How's the guy gone to the bathroom over the last 2 months?
I think they swap people in line and things like that. I don't think they're actually living on the street, but they have a system going so they can get people in and out.
A lot of rain the last 2 months. That must have been pretty miserable.
Yeah. Probably pretty awful. And I would also add, it's been 8 years, Becky, since the last console came out. So you want to talk about why are people lining up? Well, that's 8 years of anticipation building off of a very successful console. There are over 150 million original Switches that are still in use today. It's becoming a huge gaming platform for Nintendo. People are still using it even all these years later, and now they're ready to upgrade after 8 years, Becky.
My 13-year-old wants one. I'd have some questions about an adult who'd be willing to sit out in line for 2 months waiting for one.
It's
all gimmick, and it's to get, YouTube views or whatever. So yeah,
like in 3 days, can't you just walk right in? Couldn't you walk right in, like in 3 days, and buy one?
You have to reserve it. You have to reserve a spot in line. Is how they have it. They're actually pretty organized. It's not like Apple.
When's the line going to be gone, Steve? I mean,
can I buy one online?
Then wait a month. In a month, you're just going to be able to walk in and buy one, right?
Probably. They say the store behind me, they tell us over the next couple of weeks, they expect to move several thousand units behind me. And again, these are reservations. They have their reservations full for the next 2 weeks. Then they'll open up another tranche of reservations. So the people you see behind me, they haven't been camping out all night necessarily. They have a reservation for when the store opens here in a couple hours, spot in line. It's much more orderly than you would think of some kind of chaotic lines we saw like with the original iPhone or something like that.
Some of these are business people, as you mentioned, if you're trying to get YouTube views or if you're trying to buy one and then turn around and sell it on eBay for twice the price or more.
So then you go home.
They're entrepreneurs.
Then you go home and you lock yourself in a room and play video games for like 24 hours a day for 6 months.
And then you're much more normal.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to do that, Joe. This goes on the go. It's not just a. It's not just a TV console. You can take it on the go. Oh
take it to work.
It goes everywhere with you. It's like, yeah, take it to work. Why not?
Put it right instead of going off.
Joe's going to buy one. I can tell. He's ready to buy one.
Needs one right here on set.
Pick one up for me, Steve. You've been there 3 weeks, right? Pick one up for me.
Exactly. Next time I come, we'll play Mario Kart together.
Nintendo Switch 2, it has arrived. The video game console is Nintendo's first new product launch since the original Switch more than 8 years ago. Might need a little bit of luck getting your hands on one, though. Pre-sales sold out ahead of time, and last night's fans lined up to try to score one for themselves. Joining us now for Everything Nintendo is Nintendo of America president, and wait till you hear his name, Doug Bowser. Yes, Bowser. Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. And that's Bowser on your pin.
That is Bowser on my pin. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on the launch.
Thank you.
And all the demand and all the excitement. Are you meeting demand for, can you make enough of these?
Yeah, first of all, we've been delighted with the demand we've seen thus far. As you mentioned, pre-orders did sell out in a very quick period of time. But it's important for consumers to understand that retailers typically allocate a portion of the overall allocation that we provide them for pre-orders, and then they save a portion for in-store. So on launch day today, they can go to their favorite store and hopefully find a Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay, and as we head to the second half of the year and the holidays, Father's Day, are you going to be able to keep up with demand?
Yeah, we have a steady supply of manufacturing that'll be coming in, and we believe we'll be able to meet that demand all the way through the summer, through Father's Day, and then on into the holiday period also.
Okay, but the price, though, Doug, is kind of steep, $450, and that's not including the games. Why is it priced that way?
Well, first of all, the Nintendo Switch 2 is really built from the ground up. So we've included a number of new gameplay features and social features that I think fans will really enjoy. From a gameplay perspective, we've upgraded the processing power, so there's high fidelity graphics that are much more improved over the original Nintendo Switch. We've also included some very unique features with our Joy-Con, which are our controllers where they just snap off very easily. Yeah. They're magnetic, they can snap back on, and kind of the really neat feature is they can be used as a mouse with various compatible games.
What if you lose one?
You can order another one. You can order another one, but we hope consumers will hang on to them.
Yeah.
The other thing I will mention is that with a push of a button, and this is something you may like, Adriana, you have nephews that are playing in Chicago.
Yes!
So with a push of a button,
CJ
you can actually connect with your nephews, and you can while you're playing your games, and you can have voice chat with up to 12 people at the same time. Or you can connect a USB-compatible camera, and you can actually have video chat while you're playing games together. So it's like creating a virtual living room where you can actually play with them when you're far away.
I feel like you're one of these guys that really loves their job.
I love my job. I've been playing games for over 40 years. I started with the original Donkey Kong on an arcade cabinet back in college.
And you play the Switch too?
I play the Switch too.
What's your favorite game?
Well, right now my favorite game is Mario Kart World, which is a completely reimagined version of Mario Kart, really with this interconnected world where you can race in between tracks.
All right, let's take a turn and talk about tariffs, because this fascinates me.
Yes, go for it.
How have tariffs impacted your production, your pricing? And could you kind of give us a step-by-step view of the supply chain? Where do you build this, and then how do the tariffs on that country impact your production?
Yeah. Nintendo has a diversified manufacturing scheme. So we manufacture in various countries, China, Vietnam, Cambodia, and other countries overall. Our chips are supplied from various regions within Southeast Asia, but for the U.S. product, we primarily are manufacturing in Vietnam and then importing them into the United States. And for Nintendo of America, we supply product not only for the United States, but also for Canada and for Latin America.
So how much do you have to either absorb the tariff the costs for the tariffs on Vietnam, or are you planning to pass those on to consumers?
It's still a very fluid and complex situation, as it is for most companies. We're continually looking at various scenarios of how we make sure we can keep our pricing as low as possible and the products as obtainable as possible. For the Nintendo Switch 2, we've already announced that we will be holding our pricing at $449 for the base unit and $499 for the bundle with Mario Kart World. But we did have to take some pricing on some accessories.
Really cool. I'm really into it. I haven't played Nintendo since the 64 came out. At like
me too.
Something. Now is the time to start.
Yeah.
I watched my brother play Zelda as a kid. There's a new Zelda coming out, maybe?
Yeah, that's in here, right?
There is a Zelda movie coming out.
I saw that too, 2027.
The people are wondering about that. When is the Zelda video game coming out?
Well, nothing to release or talk about on the Zelda video game. What we have done for the past 2 games that we released, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we provided the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which provides upgraded graphics and other gameplay features.
Nintendo fans lining up around the Bay Area for a chance to get their hands on the new Switch 2 console as early as possible. No surprise that the new flagship store in Union Square was ground zero for today's big excitement. The store hosted a pre-celebration event for fans to get their hands on the hardware hours before its release later tonight. Fans have lined up for hours, traveling from as far away as New Jersey for this opportunity.
That's a long way.
I know, but I'm a big Nintendo fan.
We're just devoted fans. We love Nintendo so much, and I love Nintendo so much. It's a great representation of happiness and pure joy.
Anything for Nintendo.
Anything
for Nintendo.
All right, earlier today, I actually got inside the store, got an up-close look at the highly coveted Switch 2. Here we are. I'm going to show you what the Nintendo Switch 2 looks like. It's about as close as we're going to get. Come on in here. You can see just how big the console is. The magnetic switches on the side for the controls. This is what everybody is after under lock and key until 9 o'clock tonight. But look at this. The game board is much bigger. And I think that that's what everyone is after right now. And of course, the quality. And everyone likes something new. Because what? It's been, what, 8 years? It has been 8 years since a Nintendo Switch has come out. So here we go, the latest and greatest. That's right. Okay. I even got to test out the Switch 2. I know. Don't be jealous. On the big screen TV. I played The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. That's right.
Did you finish the game?
I don't even know what I was doing.